Are you hearing me? Being led by your emotions are dangerous because you'll say things and you'll make agreements in a covenant that you should not make. Wow. And one of the things I'm realizing, hear this, one of the things that I'm realizing, and I saw as I was studying this, one of the things that I'm realizing, and that still connected to the word misconception, the misconception, the misconception is, um, I'm going to expand on this, is that that I actually did I make a covenant with God? Is my relationship built on covenant or is it built on fear? What do I mean by that? Some people say, well, I'm afraid to die. That's why I said yes to God. That's not a real covenant. God don't want you to, because you're afraid to die. That's the only reason why. So you're afraid to go to quote unquote hell. That's the reason why you said yes to God. Now, don't get me wrong. When I was coming up, hell does, that whole thought of it do scare the hell out of you. But then there's a misconception in hell, because most times when we say the word hell, people think that means the fire, but that's not it. Hell and the lake of fire are two different things. There's a misconception. So people say, I don't want to go to hell. It's hot in hell. The Bible does not say anything about hell being hot. It's two different things. Study it. God talks about the lake of fire. Hell and lake of fire are two different things. People say, it's hot in hell. No, no, no. The Bible doesn't tell you that it's hot in hell. It is a place, but it's not the lake of fire. Misconception. Study it. Misconception. Everybody quiet in here. Misconception. People say it. I've said it. I said it years and years and years ago. I'm going to go to hell. It's hot in hell. I ain't going to burn up. But if you study it, hell is not the fire that God is talking about, that he's going to throw Satan, his imps, and everybody else with him into that place. Hell, in its form, simply means torment, and or Shiloh, the place of the dead, or the place where the dead is laid, or the place where the dead dwells, or for some, the place where all dead people go, or for some, the place where dead go, but there's a separation. In other words, there's the sons and children of God on one side, and then there's those that's going to end up in the lake of fire on the other, but it's not the fireplace. Misconception. What's keeping people bound is misconceptions. Misconceptions of things we think, and we got the wrong thinking. And many things we need to be deprogrammed. I'm about done. Many things we need to be deprogrammed from. It doesn't mean you're stripping the scriptures away. That's not what I'm saying. But there needs to be a deprogramming. There's a lot of things in Old Testament don't apply to us today. If that's the case, we all need to go out and start killing animals and don't put no cash on the altar. Let's go get a bull. Split the bull and pass it out. Burn up fire. That was for that time. Are you hearing me? We have misconceptions. And then we take these misconceptions and we speak things out of our mouth, and then we start creating agreements and covenants in our now. Sometimes the reason why there's a struggle, not all, but sometimes the reason why there's a struggle in somebody's life is because they're speaking the wrong thing. You saying the wrong thing. Here goes the thing. You're praying to God one thing, but then throughout the day speaking another thing. But wanting God to change everything. It doesn't work like that. Because what you say, your words create worlds. Your words. Your words create worlds, and the world that you create is the world you're going to live in. Those that are watching me on Instagram, Facebook is down. So, but the words that you say creates worlds, and the world that you create, you're going to have to live in. Remember that the world that you create out of your mouth is the world you're going to have to live in. And when I mean world, I'm speaking in terms of first your personal life, the atmosphere, the energy, the power, the peace, or the chaos you feel. You're creating that. You can talk yourself into boardrooms. You can talk yourself into boardrooms. You can talk yourself into money. Because if you keep talking it, I don't know, that's too much. If you keep talking, you're going to talk yourself into it. Just think about things that you said and then it happened because you kept talking it. And when you talk it and you talk it so much and you say it so much to the point where you believe in it, that thing becomes real. Because words create agreements with two people. One more point. You can create words with demonic forces by what you say. You can align yourself with demonic forces by what you say. What you say can create demonic forces, alignment and agreements with the dark world based on what you say. And you don't have to burn no incense, read no tarot cards, kill nothing, look at no idols, or do no cantations. You can create agreements with the dark world by what you say or by what you hear someone else say that you agree with. And you can be coming into an agreement with a dark world or a dark person based on what they say. And here goes the thing about an agreement. Once you make an agreement with somebody, you become one with that agreement. Now it's like you and that thing or you and that person now have wrapped around each other. And now you are sucked into something or an environment. And now you're acting and doing and having thoughts and wondering what is going on. Wait a minute, what is this? This ain't me. What is this? What is this happening around me? Because you made an agreement in conversation and didn't realize you were making an agreement with the demonic world, or watch this, you're making an agreement with that person the way they think. Because when you make an agreement by words with somebody, you're making an agreement with what somebody else thinks. Mm. The whole point that I'm making tonight is be careful about not just what you're saying, but be meaningful and be purposeful and be intentional about what you say. Know what you're saying and don't just say stuff and don't realize you're making a covenant, because covenant you can make with your mouth. What makes a marriage an alignment? If we go back to Old Testament, they didn't even have to really say much. It was more so that the person in that time and culture would do the speaking and you just do the agreeing. Now we got these fancy vows. They didn't have fancy vows back then. But it's a covenant and it's agreement. As we're getting ready to transition into a new quote unquote in this Gregorian calendar of a new year, I want you to really start watching what you say. Watch what you say over your kids. Watch what you say over your life. And listen to people before you agree with them. Hear people. Don't just be so quick to yes. No. Let me, especially when it's one of them, let me hear what are you really saying? Because you can hear beyond what they say. You can hear, if you listen, you will hear beyond what they say. And sometimes you need to hear beyond what people say. You got to hear what they, because if I hear, I'm knowing your intent. Now I'm being exposed to your motive and your thinking. Because what you say is one thing, but I got to hear you. What are you thinking? You see, somebody can say, I love you, but they're thinking a whole different thing about that love. I love you because you have something I need. Mm. Oh, I am your friend. That's what all you hear is friend. But are you really hearing that? Why are you my friend? There's that. I'm your friend because you want to know my business. You're trying to get something on me. Mm. You got to listen. Words have power. And going into this 2024, I want you to say, Lord, bridle my tongue. Let my words edify. Lord, help me to be careful of what I say. Help me to be conscious, awake, alert, and aware of what I say and where I say it at. The environment, you can say something in one environment you can't say in another. Got to be careful about what I say. You can speak yourself into the blessings, or you can speak yourself out of a blessing. It's all about the covenant that you are making with your words. I'm done. I have some more, but I'm going to stop there because I don't want to go past 8. It's very important. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you agree with, because you come in agreement. And some of you have come in agreement with energies and powers and environments, and you can't shake it. And you don't understand why you can't shake it, because you came into agreement. And people hold you not to just what you say. They say, "But you told me." But what you don't really hear is, you made an agreement. We came into a covenant. You told me you'd be there no matter what. We're coming into a covenant because we came into a covenant. Some covenants need to be broken. I know that sounds crazy, but if you caught what I said tonight in the teaching, you understand. Some covenants, some agreements need to be ripped up. Ernest said, keep going. Some agreements need to be ripped up. Some agreements need to be torn up. Covenant with a. That's why even when you're upset, when you're doing something, when you're going something in your life, be careful what you even say over your life. I can't take this no more. Because guess what's going to happen? You're going to start feeling the feeling like you can't take it. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then all of a sudden, you can't see, you can't hear, you're getting frustrated, you're getting stressed, your blood pressure, because now you have spoken into the atmosphere. And that what's happening is it's trying to align with you. There's some agreements and some covenants that we've made. Tear that thing up. You gotta rip that thing up, because we've made covenants and alignments. And when you don't when you don't realize how powerful what comes out of your mouth is, you'll start giving power to other powers. Or let me phrase it, you'll give your power to other powers that should be your power. That's why I said this, and I'm going to say it again. This is what I just heard when I said that. But that's why you got to be careful what you share with people. Got to be careful what you share. You got to be careful what you tell people, because you can give people your weakness before you show them. You can tell people your struggle before they see it. You can tell people your battle before they see the battle. You got to know who you're talking to. You got to know who you're talking to. Know who you're coming into agreement with. Know who you're coming into alignment with. Know who you're coming into covenant with. Because some people going to drown in the water. Don't you be one of them. But be careful of the covenants that we make. When you realize, oh my God, I made an agreement. I didn't even realize I was making that agreement. Oh God, I got to get it. Oh no. Mm-mm. You got to rip that thing up. You got to break that covenant. Sometimes it's you know what makes it hard to break a covenant? Because you almost feel bound to it. It'll make you feel bound. There's some people that'll make you feel bound to them. That make you feel like you gotta celebrate me. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Be careful of all of that. Yeah. You owe me this. Yeah. You gotta be careful of all of that. Be careful of that. Those covenants with the mouth, covenants with our words. I'm not saying walk around fearful. I'm saying just be cautious. Be very aware. Be very conscious of your words from this point on. Not that you wasn't, but be even more conscious of what you say. Don't let your emotions talk for you. I think I said this Sunday or the other week. I don't remember when I said it. Um, maybe was it Sunday? I don't know. But your emotions, you got to be careful that you don't say stuff when you're upset. People say, "Oh, I didn't mean it." No, it was in you. It was in you. Yeah, but I didn't mean it. But it was in you. So when people say, "I didn't mean it," I didn't mean to say that. You mean you didn't want me to hear? That's what you really thought at some point. There's a place where you felt that way and you didn't want it to come out. Some people say, I didn't mean it. They didn't want you to hear how they really felt, what they really thought about you. Because what you think, if you don't be careful, it'll come out of that mouth. It'll come out. And one thing you can't get back, you can't take back is what you say. You can't put them words back in you. Once you say it, guess what? You done said it. It's out there. Once you say it, it's out there. So be careful that you're not making covenants. Be watchful of what you say. Only covenant you should be making is with God. In certain instances, covenant with God. In certain instances, I'm talking covenant and agreements with the Father. I have to be careful. Even with business, I'm talking to somebody right now. I hear the Spirit. I feel it over me. Even with business, you have to be very mindful of the things you're signing. Don't just, watch this, don't just read it. Read it. What do you mean? What spirit is this agreement in? Who am I about to do business with? So I can't just read the paper. I got to read the person. Sometimes you got to read the room. I got to be careful of what I'm signing myself up for. Got to be careful of where I'm running to. I got to see beyond what I see. Because I don't want to align with anything demonic. I don't want to align with anything that is dangerous. I don't want to align with anything that is evil. I don't want to align with, I want to make sure that what I align with is pure. Let me give you one more concept. I wasn't going to say this one. I tossed with this one, but I'm going to say it. Let's call this one a misconception buster. It's the last, it's a bonus. Be careful what you align yourself with your mouth. I was talking with somebody, but something happened some time ago. And someone said, I'm going to say this, we're talking, and again, this is also an incident that took place. Somebody said, I would never, I'm trying to be nice. I would never be seen with a person like that. I would never be seen with anybody in that kind of lifestyle. I want you to hear this. I'd never be seen with anybody like that. I don't have friends like that. All this stuff. And I said something. I'm skipping through the forest because I don't want to give the details too much. But I said to them, "You eat at restaurants, right?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Okay." I said, "If the chef came out the back and the chef came to the table and said to you, 'This is what I am,' would you spit the food up and never go back to the restaurant?" Well, that's different. What makes it different? And I tried to explain. I said, "I'm going to tell you what makes it different because you don't know." I said, "The problem that I have with church people, and not just church, some people in the world, the problem that I have with church people is we pick and choose what we deem ungodly when it suits us. Because you'll go to a store or any restaurant, you don't know who back there cooking that food. It could be an atheist. It could be a devil worshiper. And you don't go back in that kitchen and ask, is there any devil worshipers back here? Is there any warlocks in this kitchen? You don't do that. You sit down in that fancy restaurant and you eat that food, and if it's good, you keep going back. If the waiter was good to you, you keep going back. I was somewhere, and I was by myself the other day. Watch this. And I'm so glad I was. And the person that was serving me was transgender. I couldn't tell that he was originally a man. To be honest, I could care less anyhow. I'm going to tell you what happened. So the person was very nice to me, Minister Nugent. Treated me real nice. Was very attentive to me. I didn't like the way my food was, and she came back and said, I said, I don't send stuff back because I don't want them to spit on. She said, I'll stand there and make sure. She stood there with my food, Nugent. Came back with my food. Gave me free dessert, Nugent. Then talked to the manager to give me a $30 gift card, Minister Alicia. Don't y'all miss this. And I sat there on my phone. Before I knew it, 2 hours went by. She came back and said, you need anything else? I said, you want anything to drink or anything like that? I said, just give me another ginger ale. And a co-worker, Mel, comes over to me. Let me show you this. And said, hey, man, hey, doc. He's laughing. He said, I just want to let you know, I know you giggling and all that, but that's really a man. That's what he said. He says, a man. I said, what? He said, oh, that's really a man. He said, you over here giggling and he. She bad, but that's a man. I said, oh, we wasn't giggling like that. He said, I'm just letting you know, man, because it. And he walked away. And no, this is what he said. Before he walked away, I said, thank you for telling me that. That's what I said. And when I said that, watch this. I said, now why did I just say thank you for telling me that? As if he was warning me of something. And me being me, I just couldn't get from the table. And I didn't see him. And I said, I got to wait till he come back. She came back again. She done came back about 9 or 10 times. And I waited till I seen him. And I called. I said, can you get the man over there? She said, everything okay? I said, yeah. I said, can you gentlemen come on? And he came back over. I said, I want to apologize to you. He said, what was it? I said, because I shouldn't have said thank you. I said, I don't care if that's a man or woman. I said, she was nice to me. Y'all don't hear me. I said, she didn't treat me no way. I said, man, you should never, that's what I said, you should never have told her business. Because she's working just like you are. I said, but I apologize for telling you thank you. It was at that moment I realized I came into agreement with him to shame that person. And that got me, Nugent, because here it is. He couldn't wait for the moment because I saw him for a long time over by the bar to come and tell me so that we could laugh together. And no matter who or what y'all don't hear me. I said, love gonna supersede here. So when it came time for the tip, my bill wasn't but $42. I gave $50 tip. And she came back. I was putting my coat on. She said, your meal was only $42. She said, that's way more than the tip. I said, I want to give you 50. She said, oh my God, you don't have no idea. I didn't even know how I was going to get home tonight. I didn't have no gas. She said, oh my goodness, it's been slow. And, I said, because you've been nice to me. And I walked away. I refused to make a covenant. And as I was driving, I thought to myself, one moment of just being nice back to somebody can change somebody's life. How shameful would it have been for me to agree with that thing? I had to rip up that covenant. Y'all don't hear me. I had to rip up that agreement because I didn't want that on me. That's how powerful words are. That's how powerful. And I've been in there before and nobody treated me as nice as, none of them was that nice. The religious part, because I'm going to tell you that because it wasn't God. That program, you're welcome to take, that religious part of me, that other part of me was like, yeah, you better not go back there no more. You was right. But I knew it wasn't God. I knew that wasn't God. And I was reminded of the story that was woman that was caught in adultery. Y'all not hearing me. And Jesus said he without sin cast the first stone. And I thought to myself, if Jesus was here at this restaurant, what would he have done in that moment? He would not have agreed. He wouldn't even said what I said. I said, thank you. I did. I said, man, that's all right. So thank you, man. He wouldn't even said thank you. Because that thank you was an shaming of the person. Be careful what you agree with. Be careful who you agree with. And I thought to myself, I have people in my family who have chosen whatever lifestyle they use the word chose. They don't use the word born. Some people use the word born. They have chosen, and I still love them. I don't treat them no different. They don't treat me no different because I'm a preacher. I don't treat them no different. I said all that to say this. We have the wrong misconception on how to win souls. We have the wrong misconception on how to win souls in this culture. Everybody may not change, but love should have no restrictions. It doesn't kill you to be nice to somebody. Jesus was nice to Judas. He loved Judas, embraced Judas, called Judas. We have a misconception, especially in this time frame, of how to win people. Every Wednesday we have the pantry. Different people. Well, some of them some of them we know them now. And when you get to learn them, and you learn they have different personalities, and you deal with them differently. The objective is we don't treat them no different based on how they look, how they smell, because guess what? We're not in that moment of judging what a person looks like or how they smell. It's a service. We don't not serve because somebody is a certain way or because somebody smell a certain way, we still serve. That's not the time to preach a message, a hard fire and brimstone message. If somebody needs food, you don't got to talk about heaven and hell right there at that moment. You can love somebody and the conversation can go that way. It's a misconception that we have on how to win souls. Some people is going to learn this, and this. I don't want to stay on that, but that's a misconception of culture. He said, loving kindness, with loving kindness have I drawn thee, not with hate. Be careful what you agree with. I had to tear that covenant up, and I felt better. I wouldn't have been able to rest. And I said, I'm going to go back to that restaurant alone because I'm not taking. See, this is the problem. You couldn't. I know if I'd have been sitting there with some of these other preachers, Nugent, they would have had oh my, they'd have been laughing with them and all that. No. We're not going to do that. Because somebody can laugh at you for just the simple way that you cut your hair. Be careful what you come in agreement with. Because that agreement could have got that person. Let me show you how the enemy do. He would have took that agreement and worked on that person's mind. That maybe the reason why no one's tipping you because they can tell that you are a man. Maybe no one's tipping you because they can see. And all of a sudden, there's a mental intense battle on a person and don't even know that battle came because you contributed with your words to create the power to give to a demonic force, to create a mental battle in somebody's mind. Sometimes we're fighting battles that people spoke in agreement against us. It's not even your demon. It's the people who spoke against you who gave a demon power to come at you. Wow. And now you're fighting a demon you know not of. My grandmother used to say this, and I'm done. I promise you I'm done. I'm out of here. My grandmother used to say this. I know the devils that I got to fight. Don't you bring your devil in my house because I don't know that devil. Didn't understand it. And one day I asked her, I won't say who came in the house. And she said, now that devil is in my house. I said, Granny, she said, no. I know the devils I got to fight. Now that devil's in my house. I said, what do you mean? She said, the devils that I know is mine, I know how to fight them. She said, but when somebody brings a devil in your house you don't know none of, now you got to fight the devils that you know, and now you got to figure out how to win against the devil you just met. And sometimes we're fighting devils, Nugent, that's not our devils. Because somebody had an evil spirit and got a hate for you. And now that devil is trying to push that atmosphere on you, trying to wreak havoc on stuff in your life. Because it's not your devil. I know devils that I got to fight. I know they come at certain seasons. It's my job to make sure I win against them every time. But an unfamiliar demon that I'm not prepared, I don't have the right tool. I got to find out how to fight and win this fight. Maybe I preach that one day. Know your devil. I'm done. All right. Let's get out of here. Thank y'all so much for watching. Listen, if you want to sow tonight, let me stop because I'm about to go somewhere else. But if you want to sow a seed tonight, thank you so much in advance. You can sow. You don't have to put the amount. You can sow tonight. It's Tuesday. Sow something with the $12, $20, if you can. If you can't, great. I don't want to say great. If you can't, okay. But if you want to sow tonight, you can sow a seed tonight. Something with a $2, $12, $20. Just put in there. Just put in there, my seed is in the ground. My seed is in the ground. If these Tuesday nights are blessing you, shoot me a DM and say, you can just simply say, thank you for Tuesday nights. If it's blessing you, just shoot me a DM, thank you for Tuesday nights. If you want to tell how it's blessing you, you can put it in there too, thank you for Tuesday nights. Yeah. Thank you for Tuesday night. Something is getting ready to happen with Joe Biden. Arabahushamanasi. Um, the prophetic thing just hit me. Um, something medically is getting ready to happen with Joe Biden. I see the word decline in the word fast. Declining and fast in health. Um, that's all I'll say right now. Mm, mm. Absolutely, Pastor Sound. I would love to meet you. I would love it. You said Shantina asked you to follow me. Badahusha. Thank you, Careless Shay, for your seed in the ground. You got to watch the replay, Shay, love. That thing hit me, that prophetic thing hit me. Ooh, just now. I saw that as clear as day. Vivian's seed is in the ground. Mm. And there will be a turning of the hand of time. There'll be a turning of the dispensation of this new year. The wheels of trajectory are changing. The world will see a display and will know that something has drastically changed. The current events and events that are getting ready to unfold and befall, nation after nation will see. It will not be hidden. It'll be like fine writing on the wall. There will be another war that will break forth in this coming year. It will be a catalyst, almost like a spinoff for the energy and atmosphere of powers of wars. One war will subside and another will arise. The United States will be the center and the focal point. It will almost be as if nations are secretly conversing on how to remove the U.S. from being the power source of the world. The Lord will extend a period of grace, but it will not last for a lengthy time. You're going to see the rise of two heads, dominant figureheads, that will seek to lead the world on the world stage. And for a moment, it will look as if they are gaining momentum and speed. The Father says it will not be the time, and it will not be the season. And that is the word of the Lord tonight. And that is the word of the Lord tonight. That is the word of the Lord. The economy's going to make a major shift. And there's going to come a season where many people in their spirit, I want you to hear this. Thank you, Christina. There's gonna come a season, a season in a window in a season, where some people are gonna feel in their spirit. You're gonna like hear and sense the spirit to get, because there's gonna be a window and a season, a window to get, and then that door is gonna shut. It's gonna shut. But you're gonna start feeling the season to get. You're gonna see that. You're gonna sense it. You're gonna feel the urgency. We're gonna see Africa is gonna really start to become a major player in this new world stage. I want you to remember that, a major stage. It's going to be almost as if we're seeing the reconciliation and redemption of Africa as a whole. And I almost like I sense that 2, maybe 3 countries within the continent of Africa are going to come together, like they're going to unite, because they're going to start talking about the power that Africa had and can have over the world. But Africa's going to play a major part in this new world stage that is getting ready to be set. Praying for Rudy Giuliani's health. I don't know if a heart attack's going to take him out or leave him. I don't know, but I'm praying for his health. All right. Anybody else sowing the seed while we're in this prophetic flow? Praying for Sean King as well. I just heard that again. I already mentioned that to him some months and months ago, but I seen it. I just seen it again. That means, yeah, praying for Sean King. ALWAYNE TV joined. I don't know who you are. When I just saw your thing come across, I don't even know if you're still on here. I saw the word design, designs, 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 and designs. I don't even know if you're on here still. I don't know if anybody know that person, but I saw the word designs. There, we are all right. Anyone else? Someone? I'm done. I'm done. Mother Fanae's seed is in the ground as usual. Mother Fanae, I just heard this for you. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. All right. Anyone else before I go off? I don't want to not call your name. You know, I try to acknowledge you. All right. Listen, where there's life, there's hope. Where there is hope, there is life. Thank you so much for watching tonight. There's power in prophecy. You will see the manifestation if you only believe. Until next time, shalom. Peace.